I will discuss melody 2026 to 2028 in the syllabus of Cambridge Music for IGCSE. And you will see here on top that I have melodic movement, ascending, descending, by step in leaps. Scalic, broken chord, arpeggio, countermelody, phrases, improvisation, leitmotif, range, fanfare, hook, riff, raga, and quarter tone. So on the Google Classroom, I have added a lot of examples from YouTube. Now let's look at the first one, melodic movement. Now in the examination, they will play a piece of music and they will say something like, the first line describe the melodic movement. So ascending, when the melody moves upward in pitch. A good example is the melody of Do, Re, Mi. Do, Re, Mi, from The Sound of Music. Okay, Do, a deer, a female deer. So that C, D, E, for instance, is upwards in pitch. Descending, when the melody moves downwards in pitch. So step by step still. Joy to the world. Okay, so it goes down in scale. By step, okay, the melody moves to the next adjacent note. C, D, C, D. Okay, then in leaps, the melody skip notes. Do, Mi, So. Okay, so I asked AI for examples, and do you see that example? That's why I have it here. You have to go through everything. You see that opening of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Twinkle, twinkle. Is that by step? No. So that is a leap. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. So don't always trust what you get from the internet. Okay, and that's why I left it there. In leaps, okay, it skips a note. Okay, so they will ask you, does the melody move mainly by step or by leap? Is it an ascending step? Is it a descending step? And I'm sure that you understand that now. This is a very nice activity for you to practice. Go to well-known songs and look at the sheet music and then identify whether it is an ascending or a descending melody and whether it moves mainly in by steps, using steps, or by leaps. Now, scalic is what we do in theory. We write a scale and we show the semitones. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So that's the same song, Do, Re, Mi, for instance, where I have a scale. And then they can ask you, does this scale move ascending or is it descending? Okay, activity. Play a simple major or minor scale on a keyboard and identify scalic passages in classical music. Now for IGCSE, we again have 4 sharps and 4 flat majors that we have to know and their relative minors. Okay, so if you're unsure about that now, come back in a few months' time and you will know what I'm in there. Okay, broken chords. When we do the analysis, we will listen to a lot of broken chords. So I have a chord 1, 3, 5 and I don't play it the same time, I split it out. Very good example of a broken chord. D minor, okay, is the relative minor of F major, and the chord is D, F, A. So D is number 1, then I count 3, and I count 3. So it's 1, 3, 5. So my first chord is D, F, A. and that is a broken chord. I don't play it together. I separate the notes D, F, A, D, A, D, F. So I can play it in different, with a different bass notes, but it's still a broken chord. This is an example of a chord, a harmonic chord. I see that I'm in C major, C, E, G, so that's on the tonic. This one starts on the 4th step, so this is the subdominant, F, A, C, you see 1, 3, 5, and the dominant G, B, D. And there I see the broken chords or the arpeggios. I play the C, E, G separately, F, A, C separately, G, B, D. And as we carry on with your IGCSE work, it will make sense later on. So for now, just look at the difference between a chord and a broken chord. Now this is a very nice activity. Most of you play the recorder, and you know that we can't play 3 notes together on one recorder, but we can play a broken chord. We can play C, E, G, F, A, C, G, B, D. And most of you are singers, and we also can't play sing 3 notes together, but we can play it separately. So the arpeggio we've just seen now, a type of broken chord where the notes are played in a rising or falling order. Okay. Broken chord just had C, E, G. While the arpeggio, I add my tonic note again. C, E, G, C. And down, C, G, E, C. So I have 2 of the root notes. Play an arpeggio on a keyboard. That we will do in class. I will show you. I will also show that to you on a guitar, and we can play that on the recorder. Now, a countermelody is what we do when we sing in a choir, and we have the main melody and we have a secondary melody alongside the main melody. Okay? We sang a lot of African music in choir. And we're also going to do an example in class. And a counter melody is that we have a second melody that actually enriches the main melody. So I want you to do this activity where you listen to orchestral music and identify counter melodies. A phrase is a musical sentence. It works like a comma or a full stop or an exclamation mark, and that is where I have a breath. So the phrases can be regular or irregular, and that is where I take my breath and I have a cadence. So cadence, that's also a term that you will study this year. The cadence can be perfect or imperfect. Very good example of phrasing. I'm in the key of B flat major. I've got 2 flats, B flat and E flat, and you see the phrase mark ending there and the next phrase ending there. So that is where I take a breath and where I have my rest points. Work is improvisation. So on the spot, music is created. We find that a lot in African solos. African choir music where they make up their own melody, jazz solos, and Indian classical music we have to study for IGCSE, and where they improvise. They have a raga, the scale, and they improvise on that raga scale. They make up their melody. Okay, and we're going to do this activity in class where we improvise. So the work for this week is those 7 terms that you have to know. And next week I'm going to make the next video. So this video I'm going to call Melody 1 and the next one Melody 2. And I want you to go on Google, use YouTube, and look for other explanations so that you really understand the 7 words. And good luck with your studies.